If you're over 60, please hear this carefully. A simple piece of fruit, something you've eaten your whole life, could quietly raise your risk of stroke overnight. No pain. No warning signs. You go to bed feeling fine, and wake up unable to move one side of your body or unable to speak. I know this sounds shocking, but as a brain doctor, I've seen it too many times. And it's not always from smoking, fast food, or obvious bad habits. Sometimes it's from fruit. Something we all think of as healthy, safe, and harmless. The truth is, after 60, your body changes. Your kidneys, liver, blood vessels, and brain can no longer handle sugar, potassium, acid, or even certain plant compounds the way they used to. Add medications, slower circulation, and overnight dehydration, and you create the perfect storm. So today, we're going to uncover the 6 common fruits that could quietly increase your risk of stroke after 60. By the end, you'll know how to protect your brain, heart, and independence, without giving up fruit completely. And trust me, number 6 may surprise you the most. If you care about staying strong, healthy, and independent, please hit the subscribe button to join our community here at Healthy Seniors. And type the word yes in the comments if you're ready to take action to protect your brain and heart. Let's pause for a moment. Why would fruit, something so natural, become dangerous after 60? Your kidneys and liver, which once filtered sugar and minerals with ease, now slow down. Too much potassium or fructose becomes harder to handle. At the same time, your insulin response weakens. That means blood sugar spikes hit harder and last longer, stressing delicate arteries that are already stiffer with age. Add in the fact that many seniors take daily medications, and suddenly, certain fruits can quietly interfere with how those drugs work. A glass of juice, a late-night snack, or even a handful of grapes can create problems you don't feel until it's too late. And here's the part most people miss. While you sleep, your body naturally dehydrates. Combine that with the wrong fruit, and you may unknowingly set the stage for a blood clot, a spike in pressure, or even a stroke. This is why fruits that seemed perfectly safe at 30 can turn risky after 60. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. Because once you know what's happening, you can make simple choices that keep your brain and heart safe. Let's start with something simple but surprising: bananas. Soft, sweet, and comforting, bananas feel like the safest fruit in the world. But after 60, especially when overripe, bananas can be risky. As bananas ripen, their starch turns into sugar. That's why they taste sweeter the more brown spots they have. But that sweetness comes at a cost. Overripe bananas have a high glycemic index, meaning they cause blood sugar to spike quickly. At the same time, bananas are loaded with potassium. Normally that's good, but for seniors with slowing kidneys, the potassium can build up, causing irregular heart rhythms or dangerous blood pressure changes. Margaret, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Illinois, loved her morning banana smoothie, often with 2 overripe bananas. She thought it was the healthiest way to start her day. But one morning, she woke up dizzy, with slurred speech. At the ER, doctors diagnosed a mild ischemic stroke. Her potassium levels were high, and her blood pressure had spiked overnight. Bananas aren't the enemy. But choose greener bananas, eat smaller portions, and pair them with protein instead of eating them on an empty stomach. Next up, grapes. Tiny, sweet, refreshing, they seem harmless. But grapes are basically sugar bombs in small packages. A handful delivers a quick hit of glucose and fructose straight into your bloodstream. For someone under 40, this isn't a big deal. But over 60, when insulin response slows and blood vessels are fragile, those sugar spikes quietly damage the lining of your arteries. Microscopic inflammation builds up, and over time, clots form. Evelyn Morris, a 79-year-old retired music teacher from Colorado, loved her mid-morning bowl of red grapes. Some days she ate 2 cups without thinking. One morning, while writing a birthday card, her hand trembled and she forgot how to spell congratulations. She had suffered a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. Tests showed prediabetes and vessel inflammation. Never eat grapes by the bowl. Have just a small handful, pair them with nuts or cheese to slow sugar absorption, and avoid them before bed. Now let's talk about pineapple. Sweet, tropical, delicious, but also surprisingly risky for older adults. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain, which in large amounts can thin your blood. Combine that with blood thinners or medications that affect clotting, and you could quietly increase your risk of a brain bleed. Add its high sugar load and acidity, and pineapple becomes a triple threat. Sugar spikes stress your blood vessels. Acid can trigger reflux while you sleep, reducing oxygen to your brain. And bromelain interacts with many medications. Clara Hughes, a 77-year-old retired choir director from North Carolina, enjoyed pineapple slices every night instead of dessert. One morning, she woke up dizzy and unsteady. Tests confirmed a posterior stroke. Doctors found a combination of high blood sugar, low platelets, and reflux-related oxygen drops during sleep. Enjoy pineapple earlier in the day, in small portions. Never eat it before bed, and avoid it with blood-thinning medications unless your doctor approves. Fourth on our list, watermelon. It seems like the perfect summer snack, juicy, hydrating, and light. But watermelon is actually a natural diuretic. It makes you urinate more, pulling fluid out of your body. For seniors already taking water pills or blood pressure meds, this can cause overnight dehydration. When you're dehydrated, your blood thickens and flows more slowly, raising the risk of clots, especially during sleep when blood pressure is naturally lower. Howard Lynn, an 82-year-old retired postal worker from Indiana, ate big slices of watermelon after dinner every night. He thought it kept him hydrated. One morning, he collapsed when trying to stand. At the hospital, tests showed he was dehydrated, with thickened blood. He had suffered a small ischemic stroke. Eat watermelon earlier in the day, and in smaller amounts. If you're on diuretics, pair it with electrolytes like a pinch of salt or coconut water to help balance hydration. Now let's talk about oranges. Oranges and orange juice are often seen as heart-healthy. But citrus fruits contain a compound called furanocoumarin. This chemical interferes with your liver's ability to process certain medications, including statins, calcium channel blockers, and blood thinners. That means your drugs can either build up to dangerous levels or stop working effectively. Add in the sugar from orange juice, and you have an invisible risk for both stroke and heart problems. Albert Bryant, 79, a retired bus driver from Georgia, drank fresh squeezed orange juice every morning with his heart and cholesterol meds. Over time, he began feeling dizzy and lightheaded. One morning he collapsed. Doctors found he'd had a mild ischemic stroke. His drug levels were dangerously high because his liver wasn't breaking them down properly. Avoid mixing citrus with medications. Skip orange juice if you're on statins or blood pressure drugs. If you love citrus flavor, use a small squeeze of lemon or lime in water instead. Finally, let's look at mango. Soft, juicy, and tropical, but one of the highest sugar fruits in the grocery store. A single cup has almost 45 grams of sugar, more than a donut. For seniors with slower insulin response, this sugar overload inflames fragile blood vessels and increases clot risk. Mango also contains a compound called mangiferin, which disrupts liver enzymes that process medications. That means heart and blood pressure drugs can build up in your system to unsafe levels. William Booker, an 83-year-old retired firefighter from Nevada, swapped cookies for dried mango slices. He thought he was eating healthier. But dried mango is even more concentrated. After weeks, he collapsed one morning with a mild stroke. Blood tests revealed dangerously high medication levels in his system. His liver couldn't process them properly. Eat only a few bites of mango, earlier in the day, paired with protein. Avoid dried mango altogether, and never eat mango before bed. So, let's recap. The 6 fruits that can quietly raise stroke risk after 60 are: bananas, especially overripe; grapes, small but sugar-dense; pineapple, sugar, acid, and bromelain; watermelon, diuretic effect leading to dehydration; oranges and citrus, dangerous drug interactions; mango, high sugar plus liver enzyme interference. The message isn't to fear fruit. It's to eat it wisely. After 60, the rules change. What once helped your body may now stress it. But with smaller portions, pairing with protein, choosing the right timing, and checking with your doctor, you can still enjoy fruit safely. Your brain, your heart, and your independence are worth protecting. If this video helped you rethink your choices, please like this video, subscribe to Healthy Seniors, and type the word AWARE in the comments so I know you're taking action. Remember, you've made it this far in life with wisdom and resilience. Now it's time to eat smarter, so your best years are still ahead of you.